Greetings to the Honorable Session Chair and my fellow delegates. Today I will be presenting my paper Outage Analysis for a Full Duplex Multi-Carrier Cooperative Device-to-Device Communication System with MMSE-based RSI cancellation. I am Rahul Bajpayee and my co-authors are Ronak Soni, Naveen Gupta and Abhishek Kumar. We are from BITS Pilani, Goa and BIET Hyderabad, India. So these are the highlights of the presentation. First, I will give a brief introduction to the techniques used in our paper. Then I will discuss the system model. Further, I will move to the RSI cancellation schemes, followed by the performance analysis, and at the end, I will discuss the results and conclusion. Introduction. So the device-to-device communication in cellular network is defined as direct communication between two mobile users without traversing the base station. Full duplex radios. Full duplex enables a node to transmit and receive on the same time frequency resource block. Full duplex can theoretically enhance the spectral efficiency up to twice. The major drawback observed in full duplex communication is self-interference. However, using various SI separation techniques, self-interference can be reduced up to the noise floor, and the remaining SI is called as RSI. This RSI can be further suppressed using least square and minimum mean square error based cancellation schemes in digital domain. The least square cancellation scheme results in a high estimation error since noise is ignored for channel estimation. To reduce the channel estimation error, MMSE cancellation scheme is used. So this is our system model. Here, as we can see, due to shadowing, there is no direct link between cellular and base station, and the cellular transmission is via this D2D transmitter that is referred by as node. Similarly, the D2D receiver is represented by D. So initially, cellular user transmits the uplink signal with N subcarriers. This signal is received and decoded at node S and forwarded to the base station using D out of N subcarriers. The remaining N-D subcarriers are utilized by D2D communication. The channels are considered as relay block fading. So the occurrence of self-interference due to simultaneous transmission and reception at full duplex node deteriorates the system performance. The self-interference cannot be fully cancelled due to some pragmatic constraints, which results in residual self-interference. This residual self-interference can be modeled as additive Gaussian random variable with mean 0 and variance beta p to the power lambda. Here, beta and lambda are RSI parameter, whereas p is the transmit power of full duplex node. The transmit power to RSI ratio is defined as the transmit power divided by the RSI variance. So we have utilized two RSI cancellation schemes. The first one is least square technique. In least square based RSI channel estimation, we multiply the frequency response of the received self-transmitted signal with the inverse of transmitted signal in the absence of cellular signal. Least square exhibits less complexity and is easy to implement. However, a major drawback of the least square scheme is that noise is ignored while calculating the channel estimate, which results in a high estimation error. The second RSI cancellation scheme is minimum mean square error technique. The MMSE channel uses autocorrelation matrix and considers the noise, which results in high implementation complexity and computational cost as compared to the LS technique. MMSE channel estimation gives a much lesser mean square error as compared to least square. Moving to the cellular outage probability, the instantaneous rate between cellular user and D2D transmitter is given by this equation. The probability that full duplex node S cannot decode the cellular uplink signal is given by this equation. That is, whenever this rate falls below the threshold, that is RS, it will count it as outage. Since we have modeled the channels as Rayleigh block fading, this channel gain is exponential random variable and the outage probability P1 can be calculated as given in this equation. Further, when D2D transmitter, that is S, receives this signal, it decodes it and forward to the base station, and the instantaneous rate at S to B link is given by this equation. If the P2 is defined as the outage probability that S to B link does not satisfy the target rate, then P2 is given as given in this equation. To find the outage probability of cellular to base station via D2D transmitter, we consider the two cases of outage. The first case is when S cannot decode the data sent by C, and the second case is when S decodes the data from C successfully and S to B link cannot achieve the required target rate. And hence the outage probability is given as P1 plus 1 minus P1 into P2. Moving to the D2D outage probability. The instantaneous rate received by the node D is given by this equation. If RT is the target rate of transmission, then probability that node D cannot decode the signal from node S is given by P3. The second case of outage can be when source node, that is D2D transmitter, unable to decode the cellular signal, and this is given by the P4. To find the outage probability of D2D link, we consider the following two cases. The first case is S cannot decode the data sent by the CU, that is P4. Then S uses all N subcarriers for D2D transmission. The second case is S decodes the data from CU successfully and forwards D out of N subcarriers to B, and the remaining N minus D subcarriers are used for D2D transmission. Hence the D2D outage probability is given by P1 P4 plus 1 minus P1 into P3. So here are the results. This figure represents the cellular outage probability versus D subcarriers. Here lambda has been set to the 5. As we can see, cellular outage probability decreases with an increase in the number of subcarriers D forwarded by node S to B. This is due to the fact as the value of D increases, uplink transmission is more reliable and tends to have a lower probability of outage. It is also observed that cellular outage probability decreases with a decrease in value of beta. This is due to the fact as beta decreases, the magnitude of RSI decreases, and consequently lesser self-interference at FD node, resulting in low outage probability. After beta is equal to 10 to the power minus 9, the cellular outage probability reaches a minimum saturated value. The figure 3 shows the cellular outage probability versus D subcarriers varying lambda. Here beta has been set to 10 to the power minus 12. As we can see, the cellular outage probability decreases as the value of lambda increases, and this is due to the fact as increasing the value of lambda decreases the value of RSI term. Hence, with lesser interference, the outage probability of C to S communication link decreases. Beyond lambda is equal to 2, the outage probability appears to be saturated and does not decrease much with further increase in lambda. Figure 4 shows the D2D outage probability for different values of parameter beta and lambda versus D number of subcarriers. An increase in outage probability is observed with an increase in D. This increment in D2D outage probability is due to the fact as D increases, N minus D decreases, and hence the number of subcarriers allocated to the S to T link decreases. We obtain a probability of order 10 to the power minus 6 when the parameters are set to beta is equal to 10 to the power minus 12 and lambda is equal to 5, which appear to be optimal values for both D2D and cellular links. Figure 5 shows the comparison between mean square error of LS and MMSE channel estimation techniques with respect to SNR in DV. It can be seen that MMSE completely outperforms the LS-based digital domain self-interference channel estimation for a wide range of SNR from 0 to 30 dB. Figure 6 shows the cellular outage probability versus D subcarriers with and without RSI cancellation schemes. By considering beta is equal to 10 to the power minus 12 and lambda is equal to 0.5, it was found that LS-based RSI cancellation gave an estimate of beta as 10 to the power minus 13 and MMSE gave an estimate of beta as 10 to the power minus 14. It can be noted from figure that the proposed FD-enabled C-D2D system along with MMSE-based RSI cancellation gives the optimum performance compared to the proposed system with LS-based RSI cancellation scheme. Here are the conclusions. So this paper proposes an OFDMA-based full duplex cooperative device-to-device communication system where the D2D source node acts as an FD relay that decodes and forwards the cellular uplink data with D out of N orthogonal subcarriers received by cellular user. In exchange for relaying the cellular data, full duplex node S uses the remaining N-D subcarriers for D2D transmission. An LS and MMSE based RSI cancellation scheme is used at the D2D source node for RSI mitigation. The closed form expressions of D2D and cellular outage probabilities were derived using a probabilistic mathematical model in the presence of LS and MMSE based RSI cancellation. Results demonstrate the variation in the outage probability for D2D and cellular links with RSI parameters beta and lambda and the impact of RSI cancellation schemes on outage probability of the C to D link. Thank you.